I've got to do some really cool stuff in my life, and one of them was recently I got to shoot a film with 3 of my good friends called the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Thank you for your support on that one. The other cool thing I got to do 2 years ago was I got to go to the Winter Olympics with my family, and it was so great having it in our country and being a host of this, and just had the most wonderful time. And I got to tell you a great story. If anybody went, it was right after the 9/11 thing, and so LAX was just a zoo. I mean, it was an ant farm. And I literally became Jack Nicholson in that movie, As Good as It Gets. I'm like, get off me, don't touch me, get off me. So we get through that, we get on the plane, they won't let you get up 30 minutes after you take off or 30 minutes before you land. I've been drinking, I have to pee. So we get to Salt Lake City, and I've got a bladder like out to here, and now I'm in an airport just crammed with people who don't understand the phrase, I'm going to pee on you if you don't move, I'm going to pee on you if you don't move. And for whatever reason, my wife was just in one of these moves, she was just in my ear, just, I guess it was a stress. She goes, did you get a rental car? I'm like, yes, I got a rental car. She goes, did you get one with a ski rack? I go, yes, I got one with, you know what, honey? Some days, I go the whole day without any of your help. Oh, that soothed it over. And my fuse is about that long. And I'm slamming our bags in the trunk of this car, and I slam her skis up in the rack, and the guy right in the car right next to me goes, you going skiing? I said, nope, we put him on top of the car in case we flip over on an icy road. Here's your sign. Oh, we've had some good ones this year. A friend of mine's wife turned 38. She wasn't real happy about it. So he thought as a joke, he'd go to the bakery, and he bought 2 cakes. One said happy and had a 3 on it. And the other one said birthday and had an 8 on it. And he said, Bill, I walked up to the checkout stand, I set the cakes down, a little girl at the register goes, oh, do you have twins? Yep, my wife was in labor for 5 years. Here's your sign. This year I did something that was really fun. I went to Anaheim Angels baseball fantasy camp, which was just a wonderful time. Some of my guys are here tonight, and they can all vouch for this. After that first day, we all like kind of hopped off the bus. The first day, the second day, we all kind of like was like. I'm walking back to my hotel room, and I can barely lift I'm just walking like this, and this woman goes, do your legs hurt? I go, nope, just crap my pants. Here's your sign. I was in an office building a couple weeks ago. There's standing at the elevators on the ground floor. The up button is pushed. A man walks up next to me and goes, excuse me, are these the elevators that go up? No. These go side to side. The up ones are down the hall. He walked away. Here's your sign. My son's playing piano, and he's pretty dang good at it. And the other day I was sitting in the den watching TV, and he came in and he goes, hey, Dad, I want to play you a song on the piano. And I said, oh, cool. So we walk into where the piano is, and he goes, I'm going to play you a song from Harry Potter. And I said, oh, the movie? And he goes, no, the book. Here's, and I go, I went elk hunting a couple years ago, got me a nice bull elk, had him out on the wall of my den, and my neighbor, who I love to death, but he's just dumber than a bag of rocks. We had been in the den drinking beer and shooting pool for about an hour before he finally looked up on the wall and saw the head and went, oh, man, I didn't see that. Did you shoot that thing? I said, nope, just ran through the wall and got stuck. Here's your sign. Right out here on the 405, I got stuck behind a big rig that wedged his trailer up underneath an overpass. Me and the trucker standing on the side of the road talking, waiting on the tow truck driver, and the highway patrolman pulls up. He looks at the guy's rig, and he looks at the trucker, and I'm thinking, oh, dear God, he can't say it. Because I'll start laughing. But sure enough, he goes, you get your truck stuck? And God bless this trucker, without missing a beat, he goes, nope, I was delivering that overpass, I ran out of gas. Here's your sign. But the best one that we had all year long, and I can tell you this one because she ain't here tonight. My wife did. I got booked on a corporate job in Missouri, but it was a morning show. So I had to fly in the night before on this little puddle jumper airplane into this remote airstrip at night. When we landed on the runway, we hit a deer with our plane. You can't make this up. And it killed the deer, it wrecked the engine. We had to evacuate the plane, but the plane was so small, it didn't even have slides. The flight attendant said, just step out. So they put us in a van, and they're busing us back to the terminal. And I'm laughing at this point, because this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I got back to the terminal, I called my wife, and I said, baby, you're not going to believe this. I go, we just hit a deer with our airplane. There was a pause on the other end of the line, followed by, oh my God, were you on the ground? I said, nope, Santa was making one last run. Just part of it. Then I got a hernia this year. I swear. You know what? I talk a lot about my wife. I do love her to death. And one of the things that makes us work is that we're just so different. She loves to work out. She lives to work out. And she always wants me to go work out with her. And it's like, I'm going to go on a 2-hour walk. Do you want to go? And I'm like, or I could watch Law and Order and have 2 beers. So one day she goes, you know what, Bill, you need a trainer. And I go, whoa, whoa. I go, they're not that big. That's muscle. She goes, ugh. She goes, a physical trainer. I go, don't. She goes, I already did. She hired this guy named Hans. And Hans is one of these people who, he's the male version of my wife. He just lives to work out. So we go to the gym, and he puts me on this machine where you lie on your back at kind of an angle, and your feet are up here on this plate. And then there's a bar with 6,000 pounds of weights. And you're like this. And I go, all right, what do we do? And he goes, you push it up. And I go. And he goes, now let it down. Bam! My knees are right here. And I go, Hans, I can't feel my back. And he goes, oh. And with one hand, lifts these weights up. And I go, why are we doing this exercise? And he goes, football players do this exercise every day. Because every day they got 400-pound defensive linemen running at them full speed. And I said, Hans, you need a glimpse into my daily life. After my morning Bloody Mary, I've never really had a 400-pound defensive lineman come at me down the sidewalk at full speed. But let's just say one did. I would see him and step out of the way. Watch, I'll do it again. I'm not even tired. So I go to my doctor, and he goes, yeah, you got a hernia. We'll fix it tomorrow. A day surgery. So I'm kind of flippant about this surgery, because remember the old-fashioned way where they would cut you open, you were gone 5-6 weeks? They don't do that anymore. Now, they just poke 2 holes in you. And in one, they stick a camera, which is a journey I wouldn't go on. And in the other hole, they fix it. I was in and out, 45 minutes, no pain. But the doctor gave me a prescription of Vicodin in case there was any pain. Oh, I had pain. Where has that been my whole life? Vicodin. You know why? I now know why you have to have a prescription to get that mess. Because when you're on Vicodin, you don't give a rat's ass about anything. We could walk out here on the 91, get hit by a semi, bam! We're like, my fault, my fault. So 2 days after my surgery, we took the kids to the Bahamas on their spring break. And I discovered in the islands of the Bahamas that half a Vicodin and a Bahama Mama makes for a bitchin' day. And I found it out by accident. What happened was we went to this resort where the whole deal was you could swim with the sharks in the lagoon. You don't really swim with them. They're just like on a little fence, and you can touch them, and they charge you more money. Well, my son was a shark fanatic at the time. I mean, the first morning, I'm kicked back in my wife and I's bed, just kind of rested. He comes bolting into our room and goes, "Let's go see the sharks!" And does this Spider-Man leap. And in slow motion, I watched him as he landed right on my hernia. And I'm just like, oh, Mr. Vicodin! But as I'm reaching for these pills, I realize I got to be careful because I have no drug or alcohol tolerance at all. I swear to you, I'm the cheapest drunk on the planet. It takes nothing to get me loopy and doing stupid stuff. Yeah, something like that. Well, like riding an electric floor buffer for a shot of tequila. Did it. If I get the flu at my house and I take a shot of NyQuil, I'm walking around my own living room looking at my wife going, "Hey, baby, what's up?" And she's like, "Go to bed." I'm like, "That's what I was thinking about." So I only ate half this Vicodin back at the resort because I knew we were going down the beach. Well, it was about an hour before we got down the beach, and I'd forgotten about it because that's how they work. They don't take away your pain. They just make you forget you ever had any. So I'm lying in this beach chair, and this woman walks by with a tray of drinks, and she goes, "Sir, would you like a Bahama Mama?" And I said, "Well, I believe it's breakfast." So I start swilling this rum drink. Well, the rum and the Vicodin converged in my system. And I was in that beach chair just going, I'm gonna braid my hair. And my wife goes, "Oh, God." She goes, Bill, woo, look at me. Both eyes. "Bill, you're scaring the kids. Now, honey, I'm going to take them to the pool, all right? Now, you sit, Bill, woo, woo, woo. You sit here. Honey, don't talk to anybody. Don't look at anybody. You know what? Just stare at the sand." I'm like, "Can do." She wasn't gone 5 minutes. And this island guy walks up to me and goes, "Hey, man. What you looking at?" Sand. It's everywhere! Well, forget the sand. Let's go parasailing. Why, that sounds superb, my friend. I've never seen Vicodin land from 300 feet in the air. And I just climbed in this cat's boat. I didn't ask for a driver's license. I didn't ask for immigration papers. If we're headed to Cuba, put the enchiladas on, because Daddy's home. Now, you know what parasailing is, right? Yeah. That's where they hook half an acre of parachute to you. 300 feet of rope that's attached to you and this guy's boat. You have now become his personal kite. So they put me on this platform, and there was 3 guys on the boat. There was the guy hooking me up. That was his job. And the other 2 guys' job was to drink beer. And apparently, they were professionals. So they get me all hooked up, and there was no on your mark, get set. It was just, whoo. We took off, and I start rising up, and I was just, whoo. This is righteous. Look at Vicodin land. Oh, look at the little fish. Hello, fishes. At 300 feet, the rope jerked. Now, apparently, that was enough of a jerk to jerk me out of Vicodin land and into reality land. I'm 300 feet in the air. I'm scared of heights. So my first reaction was, ah! I go, bring me down, bring me down. and what they heard was, "Let's go around." As we are circling the lagoon for the third time, I realize these cute little fish are the sharks. I've got 2-day-old hernia scars. Oh, they can smell that. They're circling the boat like, "Oh, come to Papa. No more stupid squid for me." And I have no idea why the shark had a French accent. So they start bringing me down. All of a sudden, the two guys, remember the two guys who haven't paid me any attention at all? Well, now they've got a freaked out look on their face. And they're poking their buddy who's driving the boat and pointing at me. This gets my attention. And I look down and I realize the problem. We are going to miss the platform from which we took off. Oh, not by a lot, but enough. As my toes touch the water, the guy driving the boat screams at me, "Just poke him in the eye!" Woo! Oh my God, the sharks! I literally walked on water, went back to my hotel room, ate the other half of the Vicodin, and watched the Animal Planet.